We are back. Welcome in. This is the live recording of episode 87 of the Client by Client podcast. Hope this message finds you well. For all of my current clients, past clients, friends, and family, drop me some emojis if you're tuning in, whether live or in the replay. For all my first-time offenders, welcome in. Drop me a number one. Would love to say hello, shout you out, give you some love. Today, we're talking about 3 non-business strategies building off of what we've been talking about with mindset over the last couple episodes. Today on the podcast, if you're tuned in via Spotify or Apple Podcasts, we talk about why coaching is the bare minimum, what to do, how to think about it, and how to look at your online business and your involvement in the online coaching industry so that you can stand out amongst your peers and be the online coach that gets prospects, closing them into clients, and the kind of coach that over delivers and exceeds the expectations of those who trust you the most, who give you their hard-earned money, and who make the wise decision to make you their online coach. You can get that in Apple Podcasts or Spotify, or by going to pod.link/clients and getting that in your favorite podcast player. That said, let's hop in and let's bring this to life. Hey, what's going on? Jeremy here from whatupjeremy.com, back with another episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. In the last episode, we talk about what to do in those unfortunate situations where you have a client that's not so happy. When you think about it in online coaching, it's all rainbows and butterflies from the outside until you have to deal with one of those first situations or the unfortunate situations where a client just isn't happy. It could be your fault. It could be theirs. It could be the happenstance of the universe. However, you need to know what to do, how to handle it, what energy to come from so that salvage is not the right word, not to salvage the situation, but to wind up in a situation that's best for you, that's best for your client, and winds up with the best set of circumstances and sets you up for success in the mindset, in the conversation, and in the process. So be sure to backtrack one episode to understand exactly what to do in episode 86 when you have a client that's not happy or where their expectations haven't been met or where they've even maybe let themselves down. In today's episode, I want to talk about 3 non-business strategies, non-business tactics for attracting in more clients and more money. Let's hop in and let's bring this to life. Before we talk about the 3 non-business strategies, I think it's important that you understand what happens if you don't get today's episode right. The first thing that happens is that operating and growing your online coaching business is tough. And that's frustrating because you're investing time, energy, money, all of this love into your online business only to feel every single day like it's an uphill battle with absolutely no end. That's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens is that you deploy proven strategies that you see other coaches succeeding with, other students in the coaching program that you're in, your mentor, you see them succeeding with it. So you go and deploy those exact same things only to stay stuck below 5 to 10K a month. And that's frustrating because you're seeing other coaches, maybe even newer, maybe even younger than you, in the exact same niche as you, serving the exact same kinds of clients that you're dying to work with. You're seeing them succeed with it. And when that happens, you get dejected, you get demotivated, and that uphill battle only increases and making it even more tough to stay focused, to stay grounded and present and optimistic in your online business. So now we know what happens if you don't get today's episode right. Let's talk about the 3 strategies that I want for you to start deploying, to put on your radar, that you can start doing every single day so that you attract more clients, more revenue, and maybe even end up on the other side of your business with a little more peace of mind and a hell of a lot more joy. Thing number 1, self-care. Think about it, guys. You are your number 1 asset. Without you being able to show up at full capacity in your online business, you don't have a business. In fact, this one right now might be the single biggest lever that you have control over to increase results in your business. Guys, the strategies, the tactics, the ads if you're running them, the stories if you're recording them, the webinars and workshops if you're running them, are simply not enough if you are exhausted, wore out, and not feeling and performing at your best. And so while I think this is total common sense, and while you know this already, sometimes we need a little reminder of just how important you are to your online business. Some of you listening have a team. Some of you listening have systems and processes in place, and those things are absolutely great. But if you are not monitoring the quality of your sleep. I would also add in the quality of your food. And I would also heavily think about the quality of your thoughts and your energy. Then you are going to wind up down this little old road we call burnt out. And when you get there, it's already too late. And yes, you can absolutely recover from it. And yes, you can find it in you to rebuild and rehabilitate your passion for the online business. But for some people, that's the end of the road when it comes to their online coaching business. Because let's be honest, there are far easier and less risky things that you can do besides running a coaching business. Now, those things are not nearly as rewarding, not nearly as impactful to the real world, to the families, to individuals and their families and their communities and the world at large. They're not nearly as impactful, not nearly as rewarding, and not nearly as fruitful to the kind of lifestyle that comes with generating 5, 10, 15, 30K a month consistently. Those things just aren't possible in the less risky alternatives of a 9 to 5, of side hustles, of getting back to service and contract work. And so you need to 100% look at yourself as your number one asset. You are the horse and the jockey in the race in the beginning stages of your online business when you're ramping up revenue. And if you're not able to show up at full capacity with full energy, excited, happy, and engaged in your online business, it's not going to last long. You're your number one asset. It's important that you take care of yourself and that you do the things necessary to keep your energy high. For everybody, this is completely different. Like I'll give you one small example because we could go into so many. My wrinkly pocket is really irritating me. We could go into so many different examples of what self-care is, and you might have things that are already popping up in your head. Like, yeah, I should do that thing again that I've gotten away from, or this thing that does bring me a lot of joy. I should probably integrate that a little bit more. One of the small things I've added into my nightly routine that's made a multi-percentage difference in my energy is drinking a magnesium supplement before bed. I'm not going to sit here and berate you with all of the things to look for in the right magnesium supplement and the different kinds of magnesiums and when you should take it in your day, because you're smart enough to pull up little old Google and to figure all of that out. But I can tell you this, that if you're not getting good sleep and if you're not feeling energized in the morning, this is coming down to probably a mineral deficiency. And if you right now are not thinking about magnesium at all, chances are high that you have a deficiency in it. And let me tell you that when you take that thing an hour before bed, and it's super delicious. We do a peach ring one, and then the other one is like a strawberry kiwi. Peach ring one has been my favorite so far. But when I take this thing, I am absolutely exhausted in 45 to 55 minutes after I take it. I have a pretty early bedtime these days because I'm up at 3:50, 3:55 in the morning. And so I'm taking my magnesium drink around 7:15. Do it an hour before you're going to be winding down and going to bed. And when you do this, I can promise you that within an hour's time, you will be so ready for bed and go on to experience some of the best night of sleep you might have ever had in a long time. So there are many things that you can do. That's something that's had a multi-percentage difference in my life and in my energy and affected my sleep and therefore my morning and therefore the rest of my day. And I look forward to it every single night. Self-care is absolutely critical. You are your number one asset. That's thing number one, as it should be. Second, a clear mind flows freely. A lot of us are dealing with frustration and overwhelm when it comes to either the lack of results that we're experiencing, the speed of the results that we're experiencing, and or all of the things and plates that you have to juggle and have spinning in order for your online coaching business to be a success. And I'm not here to say that all or any of those plates are absolutely necessary. But what I am saying is the more you're balancing, the more you have up in your mind, the more that frustration and overwhelm creeps in, the more heavy you are going to feel as a human being, let alone as an online coach. A free mind, a clear mind flows freely. And so there are a list of things that you can do, but this for many of you, for all two of you listening to the show, is a drastic lifestyle change for getting to a spot where you have a clear mind, where you keep your mind clear and you're doing things on a hourly, daily basis to keep your mind free flowing. One of the biggest things that you can do, if you're not doing it already, that will have a multi-percentage difference in your ability to show up and perform as an online business owner and as a freaking human being is, and you can call it whatever you want, whatever allows for you to resist it the least. I call it meditation. If you experience resistance to the word meditation, if you experience resistance to the thought of sitting in silence, then I would reframe this as concentrated breathing. And all this is sitting down for 5 to 10 minutes to start, and then longer as you start to appreciate it, longer as you start to enjoy it, longer as you start to see the impacts of it on your life, and then doing it multiple times a day is just simply sitting down, eyes open or closed. I'm agnostic to what you're doing with your eyes, and concentrating on the feeling of breathing, concentrating on concentrating on the feeling of the air going into your nose, concentrated on the holding that for a second and the exhale of it through your mouth. And when you get zoned in on that feeling, a little simple thing starts to happen where the thoughts start to stop, and they will inevitably creep in, believe it to me. But when you get good at this and you start to chain those breaths and the focus of the breathing together, you wind up finding that those thoughts stop. They get still for just a moment. In the second your alarm goes off or your timer goes off or when you're ready to get back into it, all of the thoughts and frustrations and overwhelm will probably creep back in. But over time, as you get better at this, you will find that you can do this concentrated breathing wherever you are at any time in your day without looking weird or zen or any of those things. And you will find that your breath is a powerful tool for bringing you back to the present moment, for clearing thoughts that may not be serving you, because a clear mind flows freely, and a free-flowing mind can operate at its highest capacity, can operate from that place of service for your clients or in that hunt for getting your next ones. Thing number 2, clear your mind. Concentrated breath or meditation or sitting in silence, whatever it takes for you to least resist it, is super critical. I would implore you to do it during the working week at least once a day, twice a day as you get more advanced, and as much as you need to keep yourself calm, to keep yourself grounded, and to keep yourself present. Third, it can be really easy when you've had an expectation of results and how much you're going to be making, how many clients were going to be coming your way, that you were going to be landing in. And when that doesn't happen to expectation, that you get dejected and frustrated, and all of those negative feelings and emotions start to creep in. And that might not be your mode right now. That may have never been your mode in life before, but it can be really easy to get stuck in that mode and to be in a replay of that mode by having those same thoughts and bringing those into your next day. And there are so many things that can go wrong in business and in life. And it can be very easy to get into a jaded mindset. It can be very easy to get into a negative mindset, for lack of better words. But what I would implore you to do, if you're not doing this already, and if you're doing this, we got to turn up the knob on this just a level more as a little bit of a reminder for you. And that is anticipating that good things are happening. And that when something perceptively bad is happening to you, and that's just a perception in the moment, you don't know if that thing is actually bad or good or just a thing. Better to stay neutral to it, even a level up, to look at everything happen to you as being in service to you, as a universe keeping you in its highest and best interest for you, and that any bad thing that's happening is actually allowing something good to happen. And when you start to do this and you get intentional about even the bad things happen your way, and you find a way to relabel that as proof that something good is now going to happen, there's a little something in that reticular activation that starts to go out and sort and find what that good thing is. It is a skill to be looking for the good in life, and it is also, therefore, a muscle and a skill to be in a constant mode of anticipating good things happening to you. And guys, when you experience a chain of events that happen that aren't good, a client ghosting you, a payment not coming in for one of your one-on-one clients, someone not showing up for a sales call, you spend all this time to get them to the sales call, you get to the end of the sales call, and they want some time to think about it, and they don't reach back out to you. You get the same objections. You get someone who you thought was going to sign up for your coaching program and they go somewhere else. There's an endless list of things, and you know not if those things are actually good or bad. But when you start to put a label on them of choosing for you to look for the good and looking at it as good. And then you start to get in the mode of anticipating the good things are going to happen from the start of your day, when you reset, after your concentrated breath, when you're doing your self-care routine, when you're taking your little magnesium drink at night like I do, and you start to anticipate good things. The craziest thing in the world happens that you have to experience it for yourself, is that good things start to and continue to happen. In the next episode of Client by Client, I want to talk about critical daily tasks to take your online coaching business to the next level. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and come back tomorrow to hear all of the juiciness we're going to talk about in these critical daily tasks that are going to level you up. Whenever you are ready, here are 3 ways I can help you grow your online business. First, download your free copy of GetBookedCRM. Coaches are used to managing your leads and pipeline from Instagram DM, Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn Mail, and your email inbox. Well, you're losing leads in the cracks and you're leaving a lot of money on the table. That's why I created GetBookedCRM. What started out as a way for me to manage my pipeline and turn prospects into clients and to manage each stage of my pipeline has quickly become a favorite tool of my private clients and the many members in the Leverage Coach community. And at the time of this recording, it's 100% free. Get leads and turn them into clients in half the time. All you have to do is send me the letters CRM wherever you're getting this podcast or over on Instagram. Second, join my free group for online coaches. I've got coaches from all over the world implementing my mindsets, my strategies, and my frameworks to land clients before they even join us in the Get Clients program. And I'd love to have you in there as well, because all ships rise in a high tide. To get your free invite now, all you have to do is find me on Instagram or Facebook and send me the word group. Lastly, become my next success story. I'm getting a couple coaches together this month to implement my methods, my frameworks, and my mindsets for injecting a minimum of 15K worth of new clients into your online business or doubling your online client roster base over the next 30, 60, 90 days. But working with the right people is super important to me. So this is only for you if you are a relationship-focused coach who always puts the human ahead of the money. You've been coaching for at least 6 months to a year. You'd like to get 3 to 5 clients organically and consistently from social media every month without wasting money and time on paid ads. You have at least 300 friends on a social platform, group, or email list. You are willing to take bold action because you know that your success depends upon it. And last but most importantly, you can keep a secret. That's you. I want you to grab your phone right now, tap that Instagram app icon, find me at WhatUpJeremy, hit follow while you're there, and then send me the words case study. When you do that, I'll ask you a couple questions about your online business and your vision for the next 12 months. And then I'll share with you what we have coming up this month in the Get Clients program, how we're already helping students from all over the world, and we'll also identify what part of the program will likely have the largest impact in your online business the soonest. That way you know what to expect. All you have to do is find me on Instagram and send me the words case study. That's it for this episode of Client by Client. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you in the next one. Cheers. Hope that you got some value out of that. If you didn't, come back tomorrow and we'll change that right around. All right, guys, that's it for me. Enjoy the day. Go sell something. Peace out.